Good morning. Oh, I forgot my coffee. It's over there. Coffee talk. Good morning. Good morning. Give you just a second to get settled in. Okay, so today's ponder, I think, is a pretty big one. It is a ponder of, we could say, judgments. Okay. I'm going to tell you something about how this all came to be for me, and then I'm going to tell you something else. Okay. So years ago, I was doing this Who Am I meditation, and I was deep in it. Who am I? I'm a mother. Who am I? I'm a yoga student. Who am I? I'm a daughter. Who am I? A sister. I kept going through who am I? Who am I? Who am I? Going deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper down into this idea of who am I? And I got to the place where I am love, right? I am love. And as soon as I said this, I am love, everything in me just sort of opened up. And then immediately I went to the opposite. I am hate. Kind of sounds weird, but hang with me. That awareness then dropped me deeper into this idea that love is not good and hate is not bad. I am all is what I came to realize in that meditation. And it was years ago, and it really has sort of put my mind on awareness of sitting in judgment and sitting in right path, wrong path kind of thing. And it opened me up into a freedom that I want to talk about with you today. So I want to give you an example of what I'm talking about. Okay. So let's say that you, starting tomorrow, you have a schedule and you're making your recipes ahead of time and you are eating healthy. You have fiber in your diet. You're eating enough protein. You're watching your sugars and your salt. You're doing the things, right? You're doing all the things. And you sleep really well, right? You take care of your bedtime routine where you're sitting in gratitude and you're getting, the house is clean before you go to bed and you've got your coffee set up for the next day and you have a really good night's sleep, right? And you're sleeping next to someone who you respect and love and they respect and love you. And you work out, you have, 3 times a week, you go to a yoga class that you absolutely adore and you love the people in the yoga class. You love the instructor. You love the way it feels, right? And you're just moving through, you're in, let's say like that, because I run an accountability group where you are able to bounce off ideas of, how you're showing up and you're asking for feedback from this lovely group of women and you're giving feedback. And so you feel a real connection to this group that you're in and it anchors you week after week. And so I want you to imagine your life being that way, right? Where you're really inside the boundaries of the way you want. You're eating well, you've got friends, you've got accountability, you know what you want, you know where you're headed, like all of that's happening, right? Most of us are like, that's the good life. That's the good life. That's what we all need to have. We need to be doing that. Okay. So let's put that aside for a second. Now let's come over here. Let's say that you don't sleep well. Let's say that you are overweight, or maybe you drink or smoke or, do a little drugs or something. You feel a little bit out of alignment. You're sort of sneaking around a little bit. Let's say that you don't really have people that you're intimate with. You have someone in your bed, but not someone that you really talk to or feel close to. Let's say that you're always, going, oh my God, what's for dinner? I haven't planned on anything. There's nothing in the fridge. There's nothing, oh, okay, I got to figure that out. You're not doing, any kind of exercise on a regular basis. You're doing, these big sprints for a couple of days, and then you go off for 6 weeks, and then you come back and you do a bunch of exercise again. And so it's just very chaotic. We would say that is bad, right? So the good life and the bad life. And then we sit there, right? Just, I need to improve. I need to do more yoga. I need to make sure I got it. And it makes us struggle. So that's what I want us to ponder today. So just take a moment and think about that. Right? If we take judgment completely out, and we just look at what is, right? One person is sleeping well, loving well, taking care of themselves in alignment with how they think they are, with how they literally are showing up, feeling like they're accomplishing their bigger goals, walking the Dharma path, knowing what their life means to them and how they can serve humanity or whatever it is for them. If we just look at the details and the facts of that life, and then we look at the details and the facts of this person's life, right? And we don't take any good or bad judgment on it at all. It just is what it is. Pause. The only difference truly between those two lives is the way the person feels. How we feel. We could feel grounded, deliberate, peaceful, congruent, aligned, connected, joyful, peaceful. We could feel that way. Or we could feel chaotic, scared, anxious, worried, overwhelmed, burdened, right? That's the only difference, is how that life feels to you. And so one of the things I talk about in Inner Gaze Yoga, my business, is I teach people to care about how they feel. Care, just care about how you feel. If you don't like the way you feel in your life, then that is the sort of push that you need to make some shifts. So do you like the way it feels to you? Do you like the way you're showing up? Do you like the way you're feeling every single day, every week, every month? Take the judgment out of it. I'm so bad to drink that much wine. I shouldn't have drank that much wine. Oh my God, it was bad. I know I'm going to do, and it just spins us out. And just take it away. Don't judge love or hate, good or bad, right or wrong. Don't do that. It's distracting you. And I talk about this in my Empowering Women One Habit at a Time webinar. So if you want to see that webinar, please let me know and I'll send it out to you. How our mind just gets in habits, just like our actions in our physical body. Our mind has habitual tendencies as well. And becoming aware of where we're cycling in these habit thoughts is going to be very freeing. But if we don't do that to ourselves and we just come back to, how do I feel when I wake up in the morning? Overwhelmed and anxious, fully depressed and in despair, right? That's the question. Not whether I shouldn't have done it, I shouldn't have done it, I shouldn't have done it. It's like, how do I feel? I feel guilty. I feel shame. How does it feel to feel guilt? How does it feel to feel shame? It feels like it's tightening here. It feels like it's sort of like squeezing around my neck. It's hard to make eye contact with people. It's hard to feel like I'm worthy of being around people who are healthier than I am. So let me just shut down. Let me just isolate. Let me just distract. Let me tell you little secret lies, right? Make it sound better than what it is. And that's the way the life is going. So many of us. And for me, this needless suffering, it was just needless. Life is hard enough to add all the burden of that chaos. And so what I do in Inner Gaze is how do you feel? How do you want to feel? How do you want to feel that your husband left you? Do you want to feel despair and that no one will ever come into your life again and that you're not good enough for him? And how does that feel? Do you want to feel that way? Or do you want to feel, I know it wasn't working either. I agree with him on some level. I know now what I want to do and what I don't want to do. And it's going to empower me to move in a direction where there's another relationship coming that's going to be more healthy because I learned so much from this past one. Thank you, ex-husband. Thank you for teaching me where I was sort of not showing up and what I also want. Let me empower myself to move forward. We get to decide. We get to decide how we show up. Okay. I'm a little spitfire today because I just sent out that webinar to someone else who's very overwhelmed in the hospital. She works in a hospital, a nurse right now. So overwhelmed, so much in despair, so depressed, so hard for her to function in a way that's caring for herself. And it's just like, oh, I just want to help. Right? But we have to understand that we get to care about how we feel. I don't want to feel this way anymore. Even though life and work is totally stressful and it is so heavy and it is such a burden at work that I have to show up. How do I balance? How do I bring in light and joy on my time off? How do I learn how to not take it personally and not take it into me? And how do I do this work? And that's what I teach. And that's what I really want you to learn. Life is so fragile and sacred and short. Caring about how you feel, like truly caring about how you feel today. I don't want to feel anxious. I don't want to feel depressed. I don't want to feel resentful. I don't want to feel scared. I don't want to live like this anymore. What do I have to do? And the answer is something different. You have to break the habits in your mind in order for the actions to change. Okay. So if you want to see my webinar on empowering women one habit at a time, again, reach out and I'll send you the link and you can watch it. If you want to jump on a yoga mat, if you want accountability, if you want personal coaching, if there's anything I can do to help you sort of stop suffering, please reach out. Okay. Care how you feel. Care how you feel. Last thing I'll say, I always think of myself as like a sunflower. Because I'm a plant. I'm not a robot. I'm a plant. You can't just take off my arm and give me another arm, right? I'm fibrous. I'm fibers. Everything is connected. And I think about me being a sunflower, and I think about what kind of soil do I live in? What kind of air is around me? What kind of people do I associate with? Am I giving myself a shot? And that's the work. Okay. So in our work together, Inner Gaze, we're looking at your career, we're looking at your finances, we're looking at your service, we're looking at your spirit, we're looking at the big picture, and we're getting in alignment with how you want to live. It's so simple. It's so simple, but we can't do it alone. You can't do it alone. It could be with me. It could be with your community. It could be with your church. It could be with your friends. It could be with your spouse, but you can't do it alone. You have to have someone else reflecting you. That's how we grow. Okay. I hope this isn't too lectury today, but I really do feel very empowered that care about how you feel. Care. Okay. All right. May this work be of deep benefit to you. Much love to you all, and namaste.